The following program was provided by a valued member of our local community. Rogers TV is proud to support local producers and share local voices, ideas, and opinions. For more information, please visit our website.
Welcome back to You Can Paint Too. I'm your host, Matt Watkinson. I have another little painting to show you today. So without any further ado, let's just get right into it and show you what I got going on this canvas here. This is an oil paint. We use oil paint, but for this I use an underpainting, it's called, a block in. And this is just acrylic paint, black acrylic paint. And some parts back here I've used black and white acrylic mixed together to make a sort of gray color and just varied them, putting little sort of tree trunk shapes and sticks and leaves. I tried to keep the top corners a bit darker, and then just where I thought there was going to be some land, I put some land. So let's just jump right into this painting here and get going. I'm going to take a little bit of a color here called Payne's Gray. I want to get a little bit on my brush. And first, I'm just going to start putting some down here in this bottom. It doesn't show up, but it'll fill in all these other little white spots down here on the canvas. And then there we go, just like that. Have our ground filled in now. Let's take the Payne's Gray. I'm gonna just putting a good amount of paint on the brush like this. I'm gonna go in the very top corner here, and I'm gonna put some of that down and just sort of have it get darker as it goes to that corner and to the center here. Want it nice and light, or as light as we can get it. Same with this corner. Across all of it. There we go. Payne's Gray is kind of like a really cold blue sort of gray. It's nice though. I like to use it. It's very muted color. And it's gonna look really pretty for what we're doing here. All right. Now this is starting to look like just a bit of a monotone painting. Add a little bit more of the color down here. All right, now for the first time I'm gonna clean my brush. I'm using odorless mineral spirits for this. There's a lot of different mediums for cleaning brushes, but this is one I like to use. Get off all the excess that you can, dry it off really good. So we got a nice fresh brush there. And all right, maybe actually I'll take this brush and just very quickly just clean up some of these brush strokes here. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, let's take a little bit of titanium white. I'm just gonna pull a little bit out on that same brush that I was just cleaning that all out with. Smoothing out the brush strokes. And we have to decide where we want our light source to be from. This white is our light. So I'm gonna have mine just a little bit over here. Just go in here and start putting in a little bit and spreading it out farther and farther and farther from your light source. And go across with it. Clean off the excess paint off my brush really quick, just to make it nice and smooth, and cross again. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like there's just this bright glowing light coming from over here. You can even take some and pull some down into the forest and make it look like it's leaking through. That's all good. And it's okay that you covered up a lot of these trees. It looks like they're just soaking in light back there. All right. I'm gonna clean off that brush really quickly. Dry it off. I'm gonna take just this little crappy sort of flat brush that I have here. Oh, this one, I got to take this little crappy flat brush that I have here. I'm gonna go into some black, mostly brown, but black and brown. And now we can start picking out where we want some other trees to live. These ones are in the foreground now. So they're a lot darker and they have a lot more visible color. And if you want to make one darker, it'll put it more close, so just add a bit more black paint, thicken it up, we'll see. And right here, there's one, and he looks a little bit closer because he's a little bit darker. I'm imagining now too, sort of like a path almost that comes through here. So I'm just gonna start filling this all in with a whole bunch of these tree trunks. Maybe not a whole bunch. We'll see how many we need. Make one, go really random, come over here. Trees grow all types of different ways. Put one here, fill out this little back part. I'll make one real dark back here. There we go. There are a few trees now. Pull maybe one here again. He can come down a lot farther. And you can put as many in here as you like or see fit. What? That's about all we need. I'll leave that brush there in case we need it again. I'm gonna take a little bit of mineral spirits, dip my liner brush in it, and I'm gonna go right up here to this brown again. I wanna make it super, super, super thin. Pull out some paint and just start going up here and adding in little sticks and arms and branches anywhere that you want. You can put as many as you want to. I might add another tree in this middle part, but we'll see. Kind of actually leaves it makes these branches really stick out, which I kind of like, so maybe actually we'll leave it a bit open. I'll put some more over here though. A little more mineral spirits. Can't forget this guy. He's kind of funny looking, so we don't want to have him more funny looking by not having any branches. That'd be bad. And like I said, I'm just not thinking too hard about this part, just putting them wherever they should go. Maybe one over here. Okay. Now, what am I doing? Before I almost put my palette down, I was used to being in my other studio where my palette's just on the table. Let's figure out where we want our land to be. So let's take a bit of that Payne's gray and black color that we had. I'm adding a bit of black to the Payne's gray, is what I should say. And I'm just gonna pick up a bit of color from down here too, and I'm just gonna start bringing it up and just sort of, if you need more, you can go over here, but just sort of figuring out where, oh, grabbed a bit of brown there by accident, that's fine. Brown is brown, I'll get a little bit more of the Payne's gray color on it here. And you can just figure out where just the sort of top of your foreground is going to be. It's okay if you come over these trees, we can reestablish these as we go down. But we just want to make sure that we have some color here. Make some come up here a little bit more. You can let it get lighter and lighter as it goes up, and it'll make it look like there's just some things living back there. Some random bushes and stuff like that. So, there we go. That looks pretty good to me. But like this, like I said, don't worry about these tree trunks. We just sort of want to know where they are for now. We'll go back in and fix those all up. I'm going to clean off this brush, my little 1-inch brush. Dry it off really quick. And let's start figuring out where we want our land. I'm gonna take a bit of light red, maybe a little bit next time. Next time we'll get a little bit more red right now. And I just want to sort of, not too light, just like a orangey, well, kind of like a fall color, I imagine. We want to put some indication of some leaves on the ground here. So I'm going to come right at the top, get a lot of paint on your brush, tap it in, load it up. And I come right at the top here where I think most of this light's going to be hitting. And I'm just going to start putting in where I think my leaves go. And I imagine this sort of, like I said, coming down here to a bit of a, almost like a little valley. And as I'm tapping down, you notice that this color is getting lighter or darker and darker and darker. It's mixing with the Payne's gray that we just put under here. And it's making it look like the light is coming up here, hitting this top of the hill and getting darker as it goes down, just naturally. Go over here a little bit more to the red side over here. And just like I said, mix these on your brush too. So you have a variety of things going on when you tap out. As you might notice, there's some little yellows and reds here all mixed in. I'm gonna go back up to this side here. And same thing, just start figuring out where I want my land to come and tap downward. Just start to fill that all out. Like I said, I imagine having a little bit of like a trail or even water there. We could definitely do water. Huh. For now, I'm just going to finish highlighting this stuff. Add some little things over there. Take some of this more into like the yellow. We can make it look like there's a few little things back there. Not much though. Just the tops of some of these highlights. All right, and from there, I'm gonna take that Van Dyke brown. We'll just do a path today. Take that Van Dyke brown. I'm gonna go right up here, just load on the brush like this. Pretty easy. And right at the top back here, I'm gonna figure out where I want my trail. I'm just gonna scooch him in. Maybe he comes down there, and over here, gets wider and wider as it gets towards us. There we go. All right. And now, while we got that brush out, may as well, we can take that same color and reestablish some of these tree trunks again, where we want them to come down. You can leave some of them back there that we covered with our oil, or you can bring some like I said, down here. Now he's there. And watch this. See this one? He's back here now. Watch this. Now he's in front of that one. You can do this whatever way you like. I'm gonna make this one look like it comes here a bit more, sort of onto that side of the hill. At this point too, you can even, if you want, you can add more trees. I think I'll add one right here. And he comes on the sort of top of this hill back here. Then we got so many trees here that I might as well just add one more. I'll go right about here. I get a little indecisive sometimes. We'll put him so it looks like just a sort of path of trees there. I want to get under here. Put one more here as well, I think. And then now, go back to the liner brush. Get it a little bit wet with some mineral spirits. Get the paint really, really thin. And just add a few more branches to these guys here. No problem. Make sure that you got a lot of paint thinner or linseed oil, any type of medium to really thin this paint out for you. If you try to put it on without this, it won't even come off your brush really. Okay, so now I'm gonna go grab a knife. I'm gonna take a bit of white, add a little bit, tiny bit of the light red to it, and we'll do a couple more. I want to add some black to this here. I really want this one to be very, very gray and quiet. I don't want these to stick out too much. So we'll take that, make sure, and we'll go pick out some of the ones that I think are the farthest back, maybe even a little bit more black brown. Figure out the ones that are the farthest back to you, and let's make a few more birch trees. We did some birch trees in the first episode, and they're definitely my favorite tree to paint. They're very fun, very easy. Anyone can do this, and what I'm doing is I'm going over here and I'm taking the knife, putting it right on one edge, and doing a little C shape. Zoop, 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 zoop. This one back here, we can only kind of see a little bit of his highlight. That's fine, we didn't forget him. I'm using this gray color for some of these ones that are a little bit farther back. I don't want these highlights to stick out too much. I'll put some much whiter highlights on for these trees that we do in the foreground here. Maybe this one in the back. Little tiny thing on him. Heck it. We'll get you too. It's important that you do that little kind of C shape. It makes the tree looks like it's a bit round, so. Okay, now, I'm gonna take a little bit of that, hopefully that Payne's gray mixture that I still have there, added a bit to this gray that we already have. Just darken it up a bit. Just want a darker, hopefully cooler color. With that, we'll go to the back side of our trees here and just connect them together. Give them a bit of shape. This one, might as well get him anyway as well here. So this is just Payne's Gray. There's hardly any Payne's Gray on my palette anymore, so I'm just kind of scraping what I got. Just want mainly a darker color than our highlight. Cooler would be ideal. Sometimes you just out of your Payne's Gray and you need to make do. Again, just getting all these, go on the other side now, and just getting all these little C shapes to give these tree the shape that they need to stand out in this painting. Let's do him. Don't want to forget this guy. They're all birches. This is a birch forest in my head. Okay, and then, excuse my arm, for these back sides of these trees can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Now, for some of these, I'm gonna go over to the white. I really wanna lighten this gray mixture up a lot. A lot. I want this to be noticeably lighter. Because now, some of these trees here, closer to us, well, I want to put a little bit of a highlight on this side. Just to make these ones in front stand out a little bit more than the rest. Probably tone that down a little bit, but hopefully this can help with, oh, this one looks like it has real bark on it already. Okay. Maybe this one is a little closer. Put some on him. And a little bit on him. All these guys kind of got a bit left out there. That's fine. We won't forget you. Always up here. Again, just making little C's every time that I touch the canvas. Trying to. Well, this guy back here, he needs a highlight too. Okay. Little tiny bit on him. Okay. So we got some trees in the foreground now. Maybe over here we can take a little bit of, I'm just getting those fall clouds that we use. I'm adding a little bit of white to it just to make it a little bit brighter. And then maybe over here in front of our tree, we could just tap in some little fall bushes to just cover up the bottom of the trees. Same with over here. Like I said, just put a little bit over there. And even right where you take that lighter color, add some red and some yellows to it. We can go right where the middle of the path is. It looks the lightest over here. And we can just add some little highlights right here, some lighter areas that just indicate light. Just sprinkling down there. A bit more of the yellows. There we go, that's much better. Same with here. All these little spots, you can just touch a little bit and make them stand out a little bit more. Don't do a lot though. Don't overdo this part because it's easy. It starts to look good and just want to do it. So just a little few areas where light's hitting off. Now, I'm going to take a clean 1-inch brush. I'm going to take a little bit of the brown and the white and maybe a little black. Let me show you guys here. I just got a little bit of like a gray-brown color. And I'm just going to go right up here and just on one side of my path, I just want to just rock this back and forth and just make it look like light's just coming down one side here. A little tiny bit there. Suck that all in. Clean off this other brush that I have here. Gotta clean this one really good this time. Got a lot of red in there. Wipe it off. Back up to the canvas, and I'm just gonna dust these out. Get rid of some of these brush strokes on here. Not that that really matters on a path. There's a lot of rocks and details and stuff in a path. And then maybe on this side, actually, I'm gonna add a little bit more lighter. We got a little bit of time here. Just gonna make this a little bit lighter, just to make it a bit more distinct. Don't want it to look like snow, but just giving this path a little bit of shape there. A couple more highlights on some of these birches. This guy back here, give a little special something, just a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't want to forget the back of this guy though. Excuse me for 1 second. And him. All right. Well, with that, I'd say that this is a finished painting. This one's really, really simple. If you've never done a painting before, I recommend that you try it. You can change up the colors and make the grass green if you'd like, but other than that, this one's really, really simple, and I look forward to painting with you again on the next episode.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
News, Rogers customers. Disney Plus is now included in select TV plans at no additional cost. With Disney Plus, you can enjoy exclusive movies and shows like Andor.
They're building a weapon.
Welcome to the rebellion.
Vanderpump Villa.
I've chosen this magnificent Italian castle.
And No Taste Like Home.
I've been waiting for this moment my entire life.
Rogers Xfinity customers, say activate Disney Plus into your voice remote to learn more.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive Drive Sober.